Start the car. The navigation system warns may be inaccurate. So you shift into reverse. The backup camera chimes in. Check surroundings. So you glance into the mirror. Objects may be closer than they appear. 3 systems, 3 warnings. Each one seems reasonable. Together, a pattern. Here's a tool, but don't trust it. It's not just caution. It's fear hard-coded into the user experience. And it's not just cars. Doctors order extra tests, not always expecting new findings, but because saying they did everything feels safer than relying on judgment. Emails swell with CCs to dilute responsibility, not to share information. Highways accumulate signs until one warns you about the next. Stop ahead. These are symptoms of fear disguised as prudence. It doesn't announce itself. Fear seeps into the language. Out of an abundance of caution, for liability reasons, industry standard, just to be safe. These phrases sound responsible, and they are, but they're not neutral. They signal a shift from helping the person in front of you to quietly protecting yourself. We act as if caution has no cost. It does. It erodes clarity, blurs priorities, makes everything feel equally urgent until nothing stands out. The overloaded backup screen doesn't make you safer, it distracts from the actual check. Now, as home inspectors, we are not immune. Our core fear? Omission. Miss one critical issue and a claim can overshadow everything else you've done. So, reports evolve. They thicken with disclaimers. Not inspected, unable to determine, beyond the scope, recommend further evaluation, not a warranty. All of it accurate, all defensible, but consider the buyer who just paid several $100s for insight into their potential new home. They expect a clear view, what matters, what doesn't. Instead, they get a dense document where minor issues sit alongside serious ones. Priorities are obscured by hedges. The frustration shows. When so many findings come with qualifiers, the buyer wonders, what real direction am I getting here? The report, meant to guide decisions, ends up functioning more as a shield for the inspector. The risks are real, claims do happen, but when fear shapes the structure, the client's clarity pays the price. The same dynamic plays out with agents. Buyers hire them for judgment, experience from hundreds of deals, knowing who catches real problems and who buries them in caveats. They can spot the seasoned inspectors from the newcomers still finding their footing. Naturally, buyers ask, who do you recommend for the inspection? Instead of guidance, sometimes they get a list. 3 names, no ranking, don't want to steer, just giving options. Choose whoever feels right. From the buyer's perspective, that's a quiet letdown. You've relied on this agent for guidance on offers, on neighborhoods, and now, where it matters, they offer neutrality instead of insight. If they know who's reliable, why withhold that? Why hand over a directory rather than a direction? Many agents hand out a list thinking it shields them from liability. More names feels safer than endorsing one. But here's the quiet industry myth. It doesn't. Whether you give 1 name or 3, if it implies competence, the exposure's the same. Worse, inconsistent vetting across a list can actually widen liability. The list hides the judgment and fear wins again. Experienced agents know who's good. The pros say, this is who I trust, I'll stand behind it. That's not risky, that's professionalism. The irony, in a world where buyers can Google inspectors near me, Zillow shows the listings, and AI can explain the whole transaction, judgment is one of the few places left where realtors can still add real value. But some don't. Fear keeps judgment underground. Instead, we get vague language, bloated disclosures, and nobody willing to say what actually matters. But fear doesn't have to lead. Professionalism means seeing clearly, speaking plainly, and standing behind it. Once you see this, it shows up everywhere. In reports, referrals, emails, policies, even your own phrasing. It's human. Next time caution lengthens the words and softens the edges, ask yourself, what am I protecting and who's really bearing the cost?